Well, it's that time of the month when we get to chat with the chief. We welcome the Lawton Police Chief, James T. Smith.
Yay, you.
Well, it's always a pleasure to come here to be with you all.
Well, thank you. Well, the topic today is a hot one. We want to discuss domestic violence and protective orders. Now, the state statistics for domestic violence showed a spike in 2023. Since you've been chief, have you seen a decline in the number of calls your officers get?
Well, it goes up and down. There have been some spikes in domestic violence. There was a huge spike in domestic violence during the COVID years because people were kind of cooped up together, and we've seen a huge spike at that time. Yeah, overall, crime has been down in our city, so that's good.
All right, good.
Two-part question for you. Is domestic violence still the most dangerous call that law enforcement can answer? And are there peak times for those calls?
Okay. You asked me two or three different questions. But, well, one of the things, the answer is yes, not one of the most dangerous calls, but you got to understand, officers, when they go to those calls, they see people at their worst and at a worst event in their life. So you have to be cautious because emotions are running high. Situations may be out of control.
Right.
So our officers have to be very careful and try to defuse the situation.
Okay. And like as far as peak times, I think during the month, or are there particular times, particular months out of the year?
Well, a lot of times in the evenings, on weekends, and unfortunately, a lot of times it's on holidays when families come together.
Now, I know there are some common types of protective orders. We really want to get to that. There's the domestic violence protective order, the restraining order, no contact order, and anti-harassment order. Out of those four, is one easier to get than the other, or one more effective?
Well, I wouldn't say one is easier to get, but if anyone who needs those orders, they can go down to the county courthouse on the second floor, fill out a petition, and you fill out a petition, but there's also a hearing, of course, with a special judge. So he will weigh the evidence, and then he will issue a order.
Oh, okay then, all right.
What happens when Lawton PD answers a call and the person you're responding to says, hey, we have one of those orders?
Okay. If you have a protective order, of course, you always keep it on your person. But if the person is there and if the person is violating that protective order, for the most part, that person will be arrested. Of course, our officers will investigate it thoroughly and see what the situation is. But if the person is on the premises and he or she is violating that order, they can be arrested.
Okay then. You know, people say, well, it's just a piece of paper. So are they really effective?
Yes. You know, if people are being harassed, harmed, or threatened, please go down and get an order, because it helps protect you and it gives us a avenue to take corrective action.
Okay then. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, you're welcome. It's always a pleasure.